Everyone, this is Suyesh here, and now in this video we'll be just continuing in the section of our large intestine. Okay, so as in the previous videos we have discussed the cecum, appendix and the basic large intestine anatomy. Okay, the basic external structures, and then we have move on to the cecum first part, then the appendix, and now we are moving in the section of our colon. Okay, so colon is a big part and a major part of our large intestine. Okay, so it is further divided into 4 parts. From the basic and from the class 12th you have learned all these things. Okay, so colon is further divided into ascending colon, descending colon and transverse colon, and then it comes your sigmoid colon, and further it continues into rectum. Okay, so rectum is another part of the large intestine that we will discuss in the another video, next video, that is. Okay, so let's start with the colon. First of all, colon. So colon actually begins from where? So it actually begins from the cecum superior part, and consists of ileocecal orifice, you can say. Actually it extends from ileocecal orifice. Okay, ileocecal orifice, from where actually your ascending colon begins. So that is the major beginning for our colon also. So this is actually, red one is actually your cecum. Here you can see this red one, this is actually your cecum, okay, which we have discussed earlier, and this is your vermiform appendix, clear, and this was your ileocecal orifice, from where your colon actually begins. Okay, ileocecal orifice, not orifice, ileocecal junction, okay. So this is actually the terminal part of ileum, and this is the junction of ileum and cecum. Okay, so from here the blue part you can see, this is actually your ascending colon, the first part. Okay, so from here actually your large intestine is actually starting. Okay, so that is what a colon extends superiorly from cecum, and what does it consist of? Ascending colon, transverse colon, DC is descending colon, and then further continues into sigmoid colon, S shape. Clear? So you can see this little bit bent. This is actually your transverse colon. Actually it is not transverse, it actually extends up to the level of umbilicus also, and sometimes up to the level of pelvis also. This bend is actually around at the level of umbilicus, and sometimes under at the level of your pelvis also. Clear? So transverse colon. So this is the second part in the colon section, and then further it takes a bend here, and further again forms a third part that is called as descending. Now it descends downward, that is your descending part. Clear? Descending colon, and then further from here, yellow part you can see, this is actually your sigmoid colon, and this we will be discussing in detail each part in the coming video. Okay, as we continue. So now let's start with, first of all, basics. You should relate the basics here with respect to peritoneum, what happens with ascending and descending colon. So ascending and descending colon are actually retroperitoneal organs. What happens is that they are actually only covered from the anterior side. You can see this is covered by the anterior abdominal wall. So under that there will be a peritoneal layer that will be covering from the anterior side. Which parts? Ascending colon and your descending colon. Clear? So descending and ascending, this one and this one. Clear? So it will be a retroperitoneal organ, like kidney we have. Okay, rectum is also a retroperitoneal organ. In the rectum video we will discuss that. So retroperitoneal organ is not covered from all the side, only one side it is covered. So from anterior side this will be covered by peritoneum. Clear? And what happens with transverse colon, sigmoid colon? They are actually intraperitoneal. Intraperitoneal meaning they are covered from all the sides. Okay, all the sides, they have the peritoneal covering from all the sides. So transverse and sigmoid colon are covered by all the sides. Clear? So this is a basic difference, Okay, so now let's start first with our ascending colon. So first of all, ascending colon, as we had discussed, the colon is beginning from ileocecal orifice, or you can say ileocecal junction, from where your ascending colon ascends upward. Clear? So what is the length of ascending colon? Is around 12.5 centimeter. From where it is extending? It is extending from your ileocecal orifice, what I said, ileocecal orifice, the junction, and till where? Till the inferior surface of the right lobe of the liver. So you can see this diagram. This is actually your red one is your liver. So this ascending colon is further extending till the inferior surface. So you can see this dotted one is actually, it is in the posterior side liver, but it is going under the inferior surface of the liver. Clear? So which lobe? Which lobe? Right lobe of the liver. So this is right lobe, and this one is the left lobe. Clear? So it is extending. This is actually the first bend you can say, and it further goes inside, goes inside the surface of the right lobe of the liver, okay, extending till here. Now it ends ascending colon. Now it forms a flexure here. Flexure meaning it takes a bend here, wide angle bend forms, and that flexure is actually called as right colic flexure also and hepatic flexure also. Clear? Why hepatic? Because it is present under the liver. That is why its name is hepatic. So it is also called as right colic flexure. Clear? This much. Now what happens with the there is a and where it lies, it actually lies in the right paracolic gutters. So what are these gutters? Are actually the spaces. You can see this black ones. These are the cut portions of your posterior abdominal wall, and anterior also will be cut. That is why you are seeing these organs opening the upper cavity, abdominal cavity, and these organs are visible there. So these are the cut portions from here also, okay, posterior abdominal wall. So what happens is that you can see this space present on the lateral side, okay, right and left, this space and this space, and these are actually called as paracolic gutters. So this is on the left side, this is called as paracolic gutter, okay, and this is right paracolic. So the line is saying that this ascending colon actually lies in the right side of the paracolic gutter. Clear? So that is the main point here, which this point wants to tell, that it lies in the right paracolic gutter. So gutter, I told you, this is a space which will be present, and it is diminished, that is, it is not diminished with the blood supply, because it's present on the posterior lateral side. So it is not supplied. That is why for the surgeons or any type of operation is done, it is the best place to find the ascending colon, and here it is mobile from both the sides, the ascending and ascending colon. Clear? This much. And now if we talk about the relations, what will be present on the posterior side, or ascending colon will be crossing which muscles, in front of which muscles it will be crossing. So muscles are actually iliacus muscle, quadratus lumborum, and comes your transverse abdominis. Clear? And what are the anterior relations? What will be present on the anterior sides except the anterior abdominal wall? It will present the coils of the small intestine, that is jejunum and ileum will be covering the ascending colon. And what else? Right edge of the greater omentum, because I said it is covered by peritoneal cavity from the anterior side. So from anterior side there will be greater omentum's peritoneal layer which will be covering from the anterior side. Clear? This much. So this was actually your ascending colon, and one flexure here we have discussed, the right colic flexure or hepatic flexure. Now move on to the transverse colon. Clear? Transverse colon is actually the longest. Its length is around 50 centimeter. Clear? Extends from where? We have ended here in the right colic flexure, so it will be beginning from this area, and now from till where it will be extending? Till the left colic flexure. Now this angle, this wide angle it is taking, now it is bending downward, and again taking an acute angle here, and this bend is actually called as left colic flexure. You can say it as left colic flexure, or its name is splenic flexure. Splenic flexure. Clear? And why splenic? Because it is present under the spleen, beneath the spleen. This is your spleen. Okay. So it will be present on the interior side of the spleen, and spleen on the posterior side. So you can say it is actually present under the spleen. That is why its flexure is called as splenic flexure. So it is the first till here it will be extending from the right colic flexure till the left colic flexure, and this is actually your transverse colon. We have told you, and its length is around 50 centimeter. Clear? So now we have discussed the extensions. Now discuss the relations. So what's relation is that it will be actually on the posterior side there will be duodenum also. Second part of the duodenum you can see, and head of pancreas will be also present. Coils of jejunum and ileum will be again also present on the whole intestine, abdominal cavity. There are coils of intestine, they will be also covering. Clear? This much. On anterior side there will be again the greater omentum, like it was covering the ascending colon, but here the catch point is that it will be covering from all the sides, okay, as it is the intraperitoneal organ. So it will be having a mesentery, that is called as mesocolon. Clear? From anterior side will greater omentum and anterior abdominal wall. Clear? This much. Now transverse mesocolon, it is actually a double layer. Actually in the peritoneum video, I have made the video on peritoneum, I have discussed detail about the mesocolon, transverse mesocolon. So that video you can watch. I will attach in the I button. So mesentery is nothing, it is a double layer of your peritoneum, that is it will be covering from anterior side also, on the sides also, and from the posterior side also. So it will be coming from the anterior side, again taking the turn from the posterior side, and it will be going backward towards the upper side. So it is forming a double layer of fold on the transverse colon. Clear this much? So this is a peritoneal covering for transverse mesocolon. This is mesentery and the specific feature for transverse colon. Clear this much? Now next we have to move on to the descending colon. I am discussing the basic characteristics of each of the colon part. Clear? And this is actually the length. Descending colon length is little bit short and it's around 25 centimeter. Clear? And it is narrow as compared to your transverse and the ascending colons, and it is present most deeper. Clear? Deeper it is present, and from where it is extending? It is extending from the left colic flexure. You can see. So left colic flexure we have discussed. This was your left colic flexure. So it is starting from here until where it is going? It is actually crossing the external iliac artery also, left external iliac artery, at the level of your pelvic brim. Brim will be present in the pelvis, and where it continues, and further it continues as your sigmoid colon. This yellow one you can see S shape. So it is now continuing as sigmoid colon, and like your ascending colon, it was present on the right paracolic gutter. Now this descending colon is present on the left paracolic gutter. Okay, on the posterior lateral side there is a gutter which is called as left paracolic gutter. Clear? What are the relations? Like that there are muscles as ascending was having on the posterior side: quadratus lumborum, iliacus, transverse abdominis. Okay, and what some nerves will be also present on the posterior side. This descending colon will be crossing these nerves, and the nerves are iliohypogastric nerves, ilioinguinal nerve, lateral cutaneous nerve of the thigh will be crossing on the from the lateral side. Okay, and further what happens is that sigmoid in the descending colon, distal part turns medially over the left external iliac vessels. So distal part, this was the proximal and this is distal part. So this part will be actually crossing medially over the external iliac vessels also, and somewhat the muscle is present, that is psoas major muscle will be crossing medially, and somewhat of the femoral nerves and other vessels also. These are the major vessels that will be crossing medially, okay, on the distal aspect. That's descending colon. Clear? So this is a topography, how it will be passing, what will be present front, on what is present on the posterior side, the muscles I have told you. These three muscles and these three nerves will be present on the posterior side, and somewhat on the medial it will be crossing. Vessels like external iliac vessels, femoral nerves will be there, and the psoas major muscle. Clear? So this was actually your descending colon. Till here we have done. Now let's move on to the sigmoid colon. Okay. So sigmoid colon is, its length is around 37.5 centimeter. Okay, this yellow one you can see, this is actually your sigmoid colon. Okay, and it is where it is beginning? It is beginning actually above the pelvic inlet and extending till where? At the level of your S3 vertebra. Okay, and further it continues as rectum. Okay, so what is the extension? Pelvic inlet until the S3 vertebra, above the pelvic inlet. Clear? This much. And it is sigmoid mesocolon, and it is having a sigmoid mesocolon here. It is a sigmoid mesocolon like transverse mesocolon, because they both are intraperitoneal organ, so they will be having a mesentery here. So in the peritoneum video I have discussed this also, mesosigmoid, okay, the peritoneal layer, and it is a large peritoneal fold of inverted V shape. This is the main point. So this peritoneal fold will be actually V shape, inverted V shape. So it will coming like that and covering from all the side the sigmoid colon and going and just continuing as a peritoneal layer. Clear? So it will be a inverted V shape. Clear? And further in the later parts, when it reaches the third part of the sigmoid, it actually crosses between your urinary bladder and the uterus also. Okay, and further it then reaches your rectum. Okay, and somewhat goes medial to your pelvic walls. Okay, pelvic bones. Okay, when it is taking the turn and reaching your rectosigmoid junction, okay, which is also present on the level of your S3 vertebra. Okay, rectosigmoid junction. This is actually the rectosigmoid junction. In the rectum video, we will discuss in detail about rectum and rectosigmoid junction also. This much is clear. This was actually is your colon anatomy. Okay, in this we have discussed each part in detail. Okay, descending that is ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, and the sigmoid colon. Okay, so I think it is clear. So if you like the video, do share and subscribe the channel also. Okay, thank you. See you in the next video.